Imagine being 11 years old and knowing with absolute certainty that you were born to do something the entire world around you said was impossible. Now, imagine loving that dream so much that you built a formal presentation, stood in front of your parents, and made the case for why they should give up everything they had worked for to follow you. That is exactly what Sydney Sweeney did, and her parents said yes. What happened next is a story Hollywood has never properly told. Because behind every red carpet, every magazine cover, and every Emmy nomination there is a hotel room, a bankruptcy filing, and a guilt that almost broke her. Sydney Bernice Sweeney was born on September 12, 1997, in Spokane, Washington, a small town in the Pacific Northwest, a world away from Hollywood. Her father, Stephen, worked in hospitality. Her mother, Lisa, was a criminal defense lawyer, sharp, accomplished, with a career she had spent years building. They were not wealthy. They were not connected to the entertainment industry in any way. They were a normal family living a normal life in a normal town, but their eldest daughter was anything but normal. From the time she could speak, Sydney wanted to perform. And by the time she was 11, she had decided she was done waiting for permission from the world. At just 11 years old, she built a full PowerPoint presentation and presented it to her parents, making the case, slide by slide, for why the entire family should uproot their lives and move to Los Angeles. Her parents, stunned by their daughter's conviction, agreed. But the road to Hollywood was not paved the way Sydney had imagined. She experienced severe bullying in middle school that required law enforcement to intervene. She was mocked for her body, her ambitions, her accent. She was different, and in middle school, different is dangerous. She arrived in Los Angeles at 13, carrying both a dream and wounds that hadn't healed yet. Los Angeles was supposed to be the beginning. Instead, it became the hardest chapter of her family's life. The move strained her parents' finances significantly, particularly in light of her father's job loss around the time of the Great Recession. When Sweeney was 16, her parents had to sell their house and move into a hotel. Just 3 years later, they filed for bankruptcy and got divorced. Sydney was auditioning for roles nobody remembers while her family slept in a single hotel room, her mother and her sharing one bed, her father and brother on the couch. She could feel it, every day. The weight of what her dream was costing the people she loved most. Sydney has said she couldn't help feeling that her insistence on acting contributed to her parents' struggles. My parents sacrificed so much to support my dream, and they lost so much during it. Her own brother blamed her for their parents' divorce. That moment, a sibling's anger cutting deeper than any rejection letter ever could, became the wound she carried into every audition room for years. She put enormous pressure on herself, believing she needed to succeed so she could put her family back together. She dreamed of turning 18, accessing her Coogan account, and buying back the house only to discover she had just a couple of $100s saved. The dream had cost everything and delivered almost nothing. Yet, for years the roles were small, the auditions were constant, the rejections were relentless. She worked, she waited, she carried the guilt quietly. Then in 2019, everything changed. HBO's Euphoria arrived raw, unflinching, unlike anything television had attempted before. Sydney Sweeney was cast as Cassie, a girl whose pain was visible in every scene, whose vulnerability demanded an actress who truly understood what it felt like to carry something heavy in public. Sydney didn't have to reach far for that. She had been doing it her entire life. The show exploded. The world stopped and stared. And for the first time, the girl from the hotel room in Spokane had a name the whole world knew. Euphoria led to the White Lotus. The White Lotus led to an Emmy nomination. The Emmy nomination led to magazine covers, global interviews, and a Hollywood career that moved faster than even Sydney could process. But even at the peak of it all, the financial reality of Hollywood hit hard. She revealed openly, "If I wanted to take a 6-month break, I don't have income to cover that. I don't have someone supporting me. If I just acted, I wouldn't be able to afford my life in LA." The world saw the fame. Nobody saw the spreadsheet behind it. Nobody saw that the girl everyone was talking about was still, in many ways, fighting the same battle she had always been fighting, just on a bigger stage. Fame brought attention that cut in ways Sydney never expected. She struggled with social anxiety. "I can feel my bubble of who I can talk to and share intimate things with shrinking, she told The Hollywood Reporter. The more famous she became, the lonelier the world around her grew. People stopped seeing Sydney and started seeing the idea of Sydney. And through all of it, through every interview, every premiere, every viral moment, she carried the memory of a hotel room, a brother's anger, and a PowerPoint that changed everything. Fame had arrived. But the piece she was really searching for had nothing to do with fame. It had to do with making things right. In 2024, Sydney Sweeney paid off her mother's mortgage. No announcement, No press release. Just a daughter quietly fulfilling the promise she had made to herself in a hotel room at 16. As of 2026, Sydney Sweeney has a reported net worth of $40 million and owns her own production company. The girl who built a PowerPoint at 11 now greenlit her own projects. The girl whose family filed for bankruptcy now owns 6 houses. And the mother who gave up her entire law career, who shared a bed in a hotel room so her daughter could audition, finally had a home that was hers, paid for by the dream she never stopped believing in. Some debts cannot be repaid in money. Sydney tried anyway. So the next time you see Sydney Sweeney on a red carpet, radiant, confident, powerful, remember what that smile is built on. A PowerPoint presentation, a sold house, a bankruptcy filing, a brother's blame, a hotel room with 4 people and 1 dream. She didn't just fight for herself. She fought for every person who sacrificed something to believe in her, and she refused to let that sacrifice mean nothing. Her story is not about Hollywood. It is about what a person can carry without breaking, and what they choose to do with it when they finally reach the other side. If this story moved, you share it. Subscribe to The Forge Files, and never stop carrying your dream forward.